A clash of empires, a struggle for dominance. Setting the stage for conflict, a prelude to war. The Opium Wars, spanning 1839 to 1842 and 1856 to 1860, witnessed a collision between the British Empire and the Qing Dynasty of China, two powerful entities with conflicting interests. At the heart of this clash lay a potent drug opium and the insatiable demand it fueled, creating a lucrative yet destructive trade. China, a center of global trade, grappled with internal challenges and Western encroachment, struggling to maintain its sovereignty. The Qing Dynasty struggled to maintain power amid economic pressures and social unrest, facing both internal dissent and external threats. Britain, riding high on industrialization, sought to expand its influence in the East, driven by economic ambitions and the desire for new markets. The Opium Wars, fueled by economic greed and imperial ambitions, left an indelible mark on history, reshaping the future of both nations. British merchants found a lucrative commodity in opium, smuggled into China, creating a crisis of addiction and social upheaval, which would have lasting consequences for generations. The opium trade, immensely profitable for the British, became a thorn in the side of the Qing Dynasty, causing significant unrest and concern. Chinese officials watched with alarm as opium addiction spread like wildfire, draining silver reserves and eroding the social fabric of their society. Efforts to curb the illegal trade were met with fierce resistance from British merchants, who were determined to protect their profits. The Chinese government implemented stringent measures to stem the flow of opium, including harsh penalties. Imperial edicts condemned the drug trade in no uncertain terms, and officials were tasked with intercepting shipments, often risking their lives. Despite sincere efforts, the well-organized British traders continued smuggling, aided by corrupt officials who turned a blind eye. Tensions escalated dramatically, with each side accusing the other of bad faith and deceit. The clash between British economic interests and Chinese attempts to protect its people set the stage for a major confrontation, one that would have lasting repercussions for both nations. In 1839, tensions between Britain and China boiled over, leading to a significant conflict. The seizure of British-owned opium in Canton by Chinese official Lin Zexu was the tipping point, igniting hostilities. Outraged by this act, the British government responded with overwhelming military force, starting the First Opium War. British warships, armed with superior firepower and advanced technology, easily outmaneuvered the outdated Chinese Navy. Coastal cities were bombarded relentlessly, and British troops inflicted humiliating defeats on Qing forces, showcasing their military might. In 1842, the Treaty of Nanking was signed, heavily favoring the British and marking a significant shift in power. As a result, China ceded Hong Kong, opened several ports to foreign trade, and paid a hefty indemnity to Britain. The Treaty of Nanking set a precedent for further unequal treaties, gradually eroding Chinese sovereignty and control over its own affairs. The First Opium War was a prelude to further conflict. In 1856, a minor incident involving a Chinese-registered ship in Canton sparked the Second Opium War. British and French forces, eager to expand their influence, joined forces against China. The Second Opium War saw the capture of Beijing and the burning of the Old Summer Palace. The Treaty of Tianjin, signed in 1858, further eroded Chinese sovereignty, legalizing the opium trade and granting extraterritoriality to foreign citizens. The Opium Wars cast a long shadow over China and the world. For China, the conflicts marked a turning point, shattering its image as the Middle Kingdom. The economic and social consequences were devastating, with addiction weakening society. Indemnity payments drained China's treasury, hampering modernization. The Opium Wars highlighted the growing power disparity between the West and the East. They emboldened other imperial powers to carve out spheres of influence in China. The legacy of the Opium Wars continues to shape relations between China and the West. The echoes of the Opium Wars remind us of the fragility of sovereignty and the perils of addiction. As we reflect on this dark chapter, we must also recognize the strength and determination that emerged from it. The importance of strong, resilient governance and the need for international cooperation cannot be overstated. Today, China stands as a testament to recovery and resurgence, a nation that has reclaimed its place on the world stage. The path to healing and progress is never easy, but it is always possible. Let us remember the past, not with bitterness, but with a renewed commitment to building a future rooted in mutual respect and understanding. In the end, the Opium Wars serve as a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring quest for dignity and sovereignty. The lessons learned from the Opium Wars continue to shape our world, reminding us of the importance of strong, resilient governance. The need for international cooperation is ever present, calling us to strive for a better, more just world for all.